In the gloved hands of a careful collector lies a small, bronze-colored piece of Danish history, a 1999 50 coin. At first glance, it seems like ordinary pocket change, worth half a Danish krone, roughly 7 to 8 US cents today. But every coin tells a story of kings, mints, economic reforms, national pride, and quiet symbolism. This humble 50 øre carries centuries of Danish monetary tradition, royal heritage, and the heartbeat of a modern Scandinavian welfare state. This side proudly displays the denomination 50 øre in bold, stylized numerals. Above it sits a distinct heart symbol, heart, the official mint mark of the Royal Danish Mint, Den Kongelige Mønt, in Copenhagen. Below the value are the initials LG Heart JP. These belong to the engravers and mint officials involved in the design and production. LG likely refers to a designer or chief engraver like Laust Grove or similar, and JP to Jørn Peter or a colleague from the mint team, common practice in Danish coinage to sign works with initials. The heart is not just romantic decoration. It is a centuries-old mint mark tracing back to the Copenhagen Mint. Historically, different Danish mints used symbols. The heart became associated with Copenhagen's production. It symbolizes the heart of Danish coinage, reliability, craftsmanship, and national identity. In Danish culture, hearts also evoke strength, valor, and joy beyond mere romance. This small heart on millions of coins whispers, "Made with care in Denmark." This features the crown of King Christian V, ruled 1670 to 1699, a majestic royal crown that has symbolized Danish monarchy since 1671. The crown divides the date 1999 with Denmark arched below. This crown represents continuity of the Danish state and monarchy, one of the oldest in Europe. Notably, unlike higher denomination coins that often bore Queen Margrethe II's portrait or monogram, she reigned 1972 to 2024, the 50 øre was deliberately designed without direct reference to the current monarch. This allowed the design to remain unchanged even after her abdication and the accession of King Frederik X in 2024. The coin is made of bronze, 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, 0.5% tin, weighs 4.3 grams, has a 21.5 millimeter diameter and a plain edge. It feels solid yet lightweight, perfect for everyday circulation. The modern 50 øre coin was introduced on the 3rd of July, 1989, as part of Denmark's coinage modernization. Smaller denominations, 1, 2, 5, and 10 øre, were phased out due to inflation and low practical value. The 25 øre lasted until 2008. The 50 øre became, and remains, the smallest circulating coin, useful for vending machines, exact change, and collections. Mintage for 1999, 14,186,000 pieces, respectable but not the highest. Earlier years, like 1989, had over 90 million. It was struck at the Royal Danish Mint in Copenhagen. Denmark's currency history is fascinating. The krone, crown system, replaced the rigsdollar in 1873 to 1875 as part of the Scandinavian monetary union with Sweden and Norway. This was a gold standard era of stability. 1 krone equals 100 øre, from øre, meaning a small unit, similar to ore or penny. Wars, occupations, including World War II, and economic shifts tested the system. But Denmark maintained a strong, stable currency closely tied to the euro today, without adopting it. The 1989 series reflected Denmark's post-war prosperity, EU integration, joined 1973, and efficient modern economy. The coin was created to simplify transactions in a cash-using society while symbolizing enduring monarchy and national identity. The Royal Danish Mint, under Denmark's National Bank's oversight. Specific engravers with initials LG and JP executed the dies. It was mass-produced using traditional minting techniques, blanking, striking under high pressure, and quality control. The heart mint mark ensured traceability to Copenhagen. The story of this 1999 50 øre coin is deeply rooted in over 1,000 years of Danish monetary evolution. Denmark has one of the oldest continuous monarchies in the world, and its coinage reflects that stability. Coins were minted in Denmark as early as the Viking Age, around 10th century, with early silver pennies penning under kings like Harald Bluetooth. The modern Danish krone, meaning crown, was introduced in 1873 as part of the Scandinavian monetary union with Sweden and Norway. This union created a common currency based on the gold standard, replacing the older Rigsdaler system. 1 krone equals 100 øre. The word øre comes from Old Norse ærir, referring to a small unit of weight or value, similar to the English øre or penny. This decimal system modernized trade and aligned Denmark with emerging European economic standards. Denmark left the formal union after World War I, but kept the krone name and structure. Through World War II, when Denmark was occupied by Nazi Germany, economic booms, oil crises, and EU integration, joined in 1973, the currency remained remarkably stable. Today, the Danish krone is pegged closely to the euro via the ERM2 mechanism, though Denmark has opted out of full euro adoption, preserving its national symbol of sovereignty. The 50 coin we see today was born from practical necessity. In the 1970s to 80s, inflation made tiny 1, 2, 5, and 10 coins almost worthless for daily use. On July 3, 1989, Denmark introduced a new coin series. The 5 and 10 were demonetized, and the 50 became the smallest circulating denomination. This reform streamlined commerce, reduced minting costs, and reflected Denmark's efficient, high-trust society where even small change matters for vending machines, buses, and exact payments. The 25 followed in 2008. This coin was struck at the Royal Danish Mint, Den Kongelige Mønt, in Copenhagen, operating since 1739 under the National Bank of Denmark. The heart mint mark has been used for centuries to identify coins from Copenhagen, a symbol of quality, national pride, and the beating heart of Danish craftsmanship. 4 BFBF6. The initials tell a story of skilled artisans. LG equals Laust Grove, engraver/designer active 1989 to 2001. JP equals Jan Peterson, moneyer/mint official from 1989 onward. The stylized A, sometimes visible, belongs to designer Johan Elkjær. These professionals worked on dies, steel molds, that stamped millions of coins under high pressure. Each 1999 coin required precision, blanking bronze planchets, annealing, striking, and quality checks. Over 14,186,000 pieces were minted that year, enough for circulation but not overly common in pristine condition today. The obverse crown is not generic. It is the crown of King Christian V, 1646 to 1699. Created in 1671 by goldsmith Paul Kurtz. Weighing over 2 kilograms of gold and adorned with diamonds and pearls, it symbolizes absolute monarchy and state power. Christian V was the first absolute monarch of Denmark-Norway after the 1660 revolution. Though physical coronations ended in the 19th century, this crown remains the official symbol on Denmark's coat of arms and coins, representing continuity even as Queen Margrethe II abdicated in 2024 and King Frederick X ascended. The 50 design cleverly avoids current monarch portraits, ensuring timelessness. This small coin bridges medieval royalty with modern democracy, a welfare state known for hygge, coziness, high happiness indices, and green energy leadership. In the global market, circulated condition, face value, approximately 7 to 8 US cents or 10 cents to 50 cents. Uncirculated/mint state, 30 to 200 US dollars plus on Numista, eBay, or MA shops. High-grade or error varieties, rare doubled dies, off-center strikes, can reach hundreds to thousands of dollars. If this coin has a mint error, meaning a mistake made during the minting process, it could become far more valuable. When coins are produced, machines strike thousands or even millions of coins at high speed. Sometimes, small mistakes happen during this process, and those tiny mistakes can turn an ordinary coin into one of the rarest collectible coins in the world. For example, a double strike error happens when the design is stamped twice, creating a doubled image. An off-center strike occurs when part of the coin is blank and the design appears shifted to one side. Sometimes a coin is struck on the wrong metal, known as a wrong metal error. Other times, die cracks or die breaks create unusual lines or raised marks on the coin's surface. Coins with these minting errors are produced in very small numbers. That is why collectors around the world search for them so passionately. Throughout history, many error coins have sold for thousands, and sometimes even millions, of dollars at auctions. So if you own an old coin, examine it carefully. It may not be an ordinary coin at all. It could be a rare error coin that changes your life. Because sometimes, a tiny mistake becomes the greatest treasure. Some common mint errors include off-center strike. The design appears shifted to one side. Weak strike. The image or text looks faint or blurry. Die crack. Thin crack-like lines appear on the coin. Clipped planche. Part of the coin's edge looks cut or missing. How much can these errors be worth? Normal coin, around $50 to $300 US. Minor error, around $1,000 to $20,000. Clear and attractive error, $4 to $5 million or more in rare cases. Important note, since this coin was produced in very large numbers, its errors are usually not extremely valuable, unless the mistake is very obvious, rare, and unique. Real premium is for complete Danish type sets or proof-like examples. It appeals to world coin collectors, Scandinavian enthusiasts, royalty buffs, and those who love everyday history pieces. In auctions or sets, it adds cultural depth rather than raw wealth. Its million-dollar vibes come from the story, a tangible link to Viking heritage, royal lineage, and a nation that punches above its weight on the world stage.